who's joining us today, HeartMate 3 patient. And for me, this is actually the reason I get up and come to work every day. And I think for a lot of people here it is too. So it's great that we get this opportunity. It's rare for us, but something that we love to do whenever we can. I'll give you a little bit of an introduction because I've known you now for a couple of hours, but very impressive guy, actually. It's a great honor to have you here. Buba comes to us, again, having the HeartMate 3. He's a lot more impressive than me in that he speaks 6 languages, lived in many countries, has many degrees, including electrical engineering, so he steps right over the mechanical engineers. So he's going to just talk to us here for a little bit, and then we'll have a chance at the end of his chat to ask questions and talk as we get into the pizza and everything. So thank you very much for coming. Look forward to hearing.
Thank you. I don't know if you can hear me in the back. You have no mic. Good. Thank you, everyone. It's a great pleasure to be here. No slideshows. I just have some notes to make sure I don't mispronounce stuff and everything. It's a great honor to be here. I think it's always fun to be among engineers, especially electrical engineers, but it's a good concentration. I'm here today with my wife, Desiree Allen. She's what is she? So we live, she's very pregnant, but we're expecting our twin boys in about a month. So thank you. This is what the LVAD can do. We already have a 4-year-old son, and it's been a journey it's been a fun journey to move around the world with him and take him through our LVAD journey. Always trying to imagine what it is like, what is life like in his mind. But before I start, I also wanted to say that I'm from Mali and Senegal. I don't know if anybody watched the game yesterday. We won. so it was a big deal. Almost, I told everyone I was going to wear that jersey to show up here. It wasn't going to be a good idea. But thanks for having me. I wanted to also say Happy Father's Day to any father here. It's a big deal being a heart patient and be a father. So to me, it was the biggest challenge. How can I be a father to him? And so far, the LVAD has been a great contributor to that. So there'll be a lot of thank yous in between, but thanks for that. We'll start by telling about probably where this journey started for me in terms of the diagnosis. The first time I was diagnosed with heart disease was 2012. I was 26 at the time. And before that, there was really no reason to be concerned. I was playing basketball, studying, and everything seems okay. And actually working at the time, and out of nowhere I was getting this person to ruin her weekend, and then we went to the ER. And at the emergency room, the doctors did all the tests and it took forever. And I was wondering, okay, if it's just something small, if it's just a flu, why is it taking so long? And it turns out that my heart was too big. My heart was enlarged and they came and then suspected dilated cardiomyopathy. So 2 days after, the cardiologist confirmed the diagnosis and then they put me on the medication. So I started, so it was I adapted well to the medication, I responded well to the medication, and that was, and 2 years after, I was finishing grad school, and then we got married, and our son was born, and then we decided to move to Senegal, where I started my business in smart energy services. So that was 2014. In 2016, I was qualified for a program to go to California at UC Davis for a fellowship. It was called the Young African Leadership Initiative. It was a program that was led by Obama. And then as I got there like Friday, and Saturday I had to go to ER because my symptoms were back again and I was vomiting. So then went and then they had to do a lot of tests, including an MRI, and it turned out that my condition was actually congenital, and it was left ventricular non-compaction cardiomyopathy. So I'm sure most of you might have heard of that, but my heart muscle was never formed at birth properly. So that led to where I was, but I was very lucky to be diagnosed at that point because we didn't know what it was the cause. And at that point they realized also that I needed a heart transplant. That's where the LVAD story came in. This was in California, so it didn't make sense for us to move from all the way, I guess, from Mali to California. because our family lived in Boston, so we figured we'll come to Boston. And then that's how they transferred me to the folks at Brigham's. When I got there, they confirmed the diagnosis and then also decided, okay, we'll put you on the HeartMate LVAD. Initially it was the HeartMate 2, but I figured, I'll take the latest and the best. So we set on the HeartMate 3. It was fun because it was, I think it was September, August, and then the trial was still going on. So they were like, we still have to get the results, and maybe we'll do it in December. And I was like, I got to have Christmas at home, and then we decided to have it early January. That was 2017, and it's been quite a ride since then. But 2017, I got my HeartMate 3, and it was very interesting. The procedure went well, and then I had a small AFib, so we were panicking that day because all my time I was already not very sick. So that day I think for the first time I was scared, and the pain was really too much because I felt like that. I don't have much margin for error, so I was a bit under pressure, and then coming back to being a father, my son came to visit me that day, and I was like, okay, we gotta make sure that he will never go through that, that same pain I'm going through, because it wasn't the pain itself, but it was hard being there, not being able to do anything, but it was also a turning moment for me, because I had everybody in my family, my wife, my parents, the in-laws were there, and just the team from the doctors, people that I didn't even see. Everybody was involved just to make sure that I was okay, and that meant a lot. So it gave me the power to fight back, and help seeing my son also gave me more energy to go forward. But this was January. 3 months after, I was still a bit weak. I couldn't walk so much. It was 300 feet. That's almost all I could do without running out of breath. But slowly started exercising a bit more, being consistent, walking around the block. I remember in the house, I would just walk up and down the alley and time myself, and every now and then I walk up the stairs, time myself, and eventually I started walking around the block. And it's a lot of scary moments, but I also was wearing these holsters, and then you also, just having moved to the US, you wanted to make sure nobody find you, suspect you for carrying a gun or something. So it was a lot of fear at first. So walking around, nothing happened, but I also take on cardiac rehab. And by September, I was fit enough to work at the Boston Heart Walk. That happened at the Esplanade. And it was very fun to be there with my team. The care team was there, my nurses, they came with their families. And then my family was there with my friends, and we had, they all had we call it Heart of a Giant t-shirt. So that's also the name of the blog that I started, where I started sharing my story. So it was good to see all of them. And we walked 6 miles, and right after that, we decided to continue working with the family, and we walked another 6 miles. So 6 months after the heart transplant, I was walking 12 miles, which is something I hadn't done maybe.
As long as I do.
No lies. That's a tough one, because we play basketball and I always beat her, but I wasn't. That's all I could do. I could beat her playing basketball, I could sprint and beat her, but everything else I couldn't. So she would run 6 miles, she would do her running, and I would be walking behind her. And then she would find me on the way back. So this was good to be able to lead the way in a way, differently. So, and in September, so that was September, and then I had also started doing martial art. So I'm able to do Viet Vo Dao, that's Vietnamese martial art. It involves a lot of jumping, a lot of scissors, which I don't do, so don't be worried. But I'm able to keep up with them, I'm able to do all the drills, and it's also able to help me be consistent. I also started doing part-time work, so I'll get up every morning, get out of the house. So all of those things added up, but I already had a lot of support from family. The care team has been great. The system for me has been really good. The HeartMate has been, I haven't had a lot of alarms. I had a few hiccups here and there, adapting to the living with it, carrying the device, what's the best setup in the bag. I don't usually put it in my pocket, but we realized I could even put it in my pocket and walk around with it. So finding close to where so it was a good adaptation for me. But the system around it was very impressive, where the doctors are always available to me. giving answers, and then keeping me excited about what's next in the technology. They also give me enough insight in terms of how could life be different. So we have a very engaging community that we try to develop with the patients. So to me, it's been good to share experiences with people and so on. So since then, I've started rebuilding my career. Like I mentioned, I had the part-time work. I'm also hoping to do more full-time, and I'm also like we're preparing for the boys in this summer. So being heart transplant not only changed my life trajectory, but it also pushes the timeline on everything I want to do. So everything I want to do right now is, is a bit more urgency, but I have enough support to do that. So going forward, I also plan to be able to share my story more. So I'm hoping to develop the blog, be involved in the community in terms of heart patient. So we had a discussion earlier with the team in terms of some of the issues we think we have and what's next in terms of no driveline, full implantable systems, smaller systems. Some of those are being answered already, but it's good for us to be able to give some feedback and contribute to the system improving. And I'm happy to say that in just a few years after learning that my heart was too big for my body, I'm thoroughly enjoying my life, every second of it, as you can see. And I feel ready and really much more confident about everything that is about to come to us as a family. And I'm staying positive, and I look out everywhere I go. I look for the good hearts in everyone I meet, so including you. So it's great meeting you. And I realize that today is really the culmination of immense work that has gone into making these systems and into making sure that I can stand here in front of you. And I'm really grateful to each and every one of you. I'm grateful for every moment made possible to me, made possible to my family, and every moment that my family, my care team, and everybody involved in the system or in the care has been for me. I'm also really thankful to you guys. So the team here at Abbott, I know was thoracic before, then a lot of other iterations, but I'm really thankful, and you are not only helping me stay alive, you are allowing me to be able to clean in the house, to be able to be helpful, to be able to talk to people. And she's pregnant now, so someone has to do the work. My back hurts. I don't know if you have a solution for that. But I'm really productive and I feel useful. So you're not only keeping me alive, because to me, I never really thought about it as death. I wasn't scared of death, so let's put it that way. Because I tell people I didn't know what life was. I didn't know pain or anything before death, so it's probably going to be the same after. I know it'll be tough for people, but I wasn't concerned about death. But being able to live and have meaning and be able to have hope and to have faith in the future, and to be able to just dream. I have like big plans again, and when I get in that mode, she sometimes rolls her eyes, but I'm excited, and I think that's the happiest we can be. And that's all thanks to you guys. So thank you very much. Thanks everybody. And yeah, every time you forget, you get stuff. I don't know. Maybe Justin is mean to you. Just think of what you're doing. And I think I can speak for all those guys out there and the people that they care for and that depend on them and everybody else. So yeah, thank you guys. I really appreciate everything.